Hello, D5 family. I'm Dr. Ross, Superintendent of Schools of Lexington Richland School District 5, and welcome to another Lunch and Learn. This is a series of meetings that we have. We will record all of these, but it's an opportunity to engage with our community, our staff during the lunch break, to answer questions that are going on in the ever-changing world that we live in and the changes that we see within our district. Those changes to begin in July 1, 2026 for the 2026-27 school year will be rezoning. As always, as we look with the impact of the bond referendum passed in November 24, we're going to be looking for opportunities to ensure that we safely and systematically rezone our school district. And so to that end, I have two people joining us on today's Lunch and Learn to talk about rezoning, magnets and choice programs. I have our Chief of Student Services and Planning, Dr. Michael Harris, who will be talking about the rezoning and choice. And then our Director of Magnet Programs, Ms. Sarah Wheeler, will be talking about the magnet program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Harris as we go into the changes coming forth with rezoning effective July 1, 2026. Dr. Harris.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ross, and good afternoon to all of our community, families, and others who would join us on this virtual lunch and learn. As Dr. Ross has indicated, we have prepared ourselves for a rezoning, which is effective for the 26-27 school year. And we want to talk just a little bit about that and give you more information, give you some insight, hopefully answer some questions that you might have. We can go to the next slide. Many of you are very familiar with our current structure of organization here. This here kind of shares with us what we currently operate under in terms of an organization. As you can see, and Dr. Ross has shared this on numerous times, so we'll just take just a quick second to reiterate. As you can see, one of the things that really jumps out at us is the number of elementary schools, 10, that report to an intermediate school for 1 year, and we wanted to address that scenario. We understand that years ago there was rationale behind that, and the district moved forward with the concept. But as we move progressively toward 26-27, we wanted to revamp and restructure that. So what you have on the next slide, what you have is a current and approved structure, educational structure for redistricting. This is something that we want to kind of keep in the face and in the eyes and the ears of our community as we move forward to August 26-27 school year. This is the design of the school district. As you can see, our Chapin schools that are highlighted in blue, our Dutch Fork schools are highlighted in the green, and our Irmo schools are highlighted in yellow, with our Spring Hill and district office and other areas also off to the side. What you would also see, which I think is also very important, is which has also been approved, are start times, start and dismissal times that will be consistent for every level. So with our elementary levels, which will now be K through 5, and then some in pinpoint here, there are some areas that in elementary that do have and will maintain their 4K program. So we do have that, and they will maintain no change regarding the transition of 4K programs. But all of our elementary schools that you see at the bottom will be K through 5. And there is a start time that's highlighted off to my right at the bottom right as to what the start time, a consistent start time will be for elementary. The same applies for our middle schools and our high schools, with the exception of our Career Center and Spring Hill that are just a few minutes difference in terms of start and ending due to the transport and shuttle of students who are participating in those programs and or that magnet high school. So this has been shared with all of our principals and certainly with all of our advisors and in support of our transportation. As I also indicated, it also has been approved by our local board. Our next slide shares with us what our maps, current map and future map looks like. Currently, as you can see on the left-hand side, that is what we're currently operating under. You may have seen that map throughout our district office and several of our schools. But again, on July 1, 2026, the map on the right, my right, is the new zoning for all of our schools. This depicts our elementary zones. but it does give you a highlight as to what the district-wide rezoning initiative will look like, as it is broken down into colors that reflect the particular schools in our district. This assists us with the real, quite frankly, the closest thing to a balanced enrollment. And so we're very appreciative and supportive and look forward to implementing this in July of 2026. Now, in that we are operating in a current map and a current existence, and then looking forward to another map that supports us with the rezoning. What we've done, which I think is very key, is we've given the community an opportunity to look at where their child, their children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, if you choose, where they would actually be zoned currently, as well as where they would be zoned futuristically during the implementation of this rezoning, August of 2026. So this is a zone locator that gives us an opportunity, the community, to type in your address, and it shares with you exactly where you are and where you're zoned currently, as well as where you would be zoned or will be zoned when the redistricting is actually implemented. So I think that's a great feature for our community to have, and we certainly appreciate our accountability office and other vendors who have assisted us in getting the plots in all of these areas identified, properly identified, so that we can make this feature available for our community. Having said that, and we'll look at the next slide, having said that, we are looking forward to offering choice options. We'll hear from our director of magnet schools in just a moment, but we're certainly looking forward to choice options. And we do believe that with this redistricting that will be available, we'll be able to offer it on a limited basis, choice in the majority of our schools. That's something that the district has not been able to do in a number of years. So with this redistricting initiative, it does afford us an opportunity to have a limited space for choice options to occur in the majority of our schools. However, specific to our Ballantyne community and Ballantyne Elementary School, there is the notion of a preferred choice and a preferred pathway specific to Ballantyne. And what that simply says is that when the transition occurs and redistricting occurs on a limited basis based on space availability, there may be opportunities for those families who have been impacted by the rezoning to apply for on a limited basis this preferred choice. Again, this is specific to the Ballantyne families. Second to that is also there are families, and there are a number of them that have already been identified that would have been impacted twice from the elementary through the middle school. They would be on a trajectory, should they choose, for a preferred pathway, which will allow them an opportunity to choice in, but we will make contact with them directly, and they will be addressed individually for those families. And there are a specific number of families that fall into that particular category. So specific to Ballantyne Elementary, there is a preferred choice and a preferred pathway. However, there is for all remaining schools an opportunity for choice and or magnet that we'll hear about in just a second. With the transition, if we look at the next slide, with the transition and with the redistricting that's forthcoming and that we continue to talk about during these virtual lunch and learns and in our community meetings, one-on-ones, responding to emails, we want to make certain that the district does this due diligence to support our families in this redistricting process, the rezoning process. We know that change can be difficult, but we are certainly feel really good about all of the schools that are here in District 5. So we make available orientation opportunities at our schools whereby principals and staff can welcome new students and their families into their schools. We want to make certain that as with all redistricting initiatives, that we are keeping neighborhoods as best we can, keeping neighborhoods together as we rezone, as well as in those instances where there may be challenge or difficulty, we have a mental wellness team, persons or professional staff who are here in our district and across the landscape of our district who are available to assist in the transition for students and families as this rezoning occurs. So know that the district has the best interest of our community at heart, and we want to do what's best for our students as this transition and this rezoning occurs. With that, I want to pause now, and I'll certainly be able to answer questions later, to introduce Ms. Sarah Wheeler, who's our Director of Magnet Program, to talk a little bit about Magnet Choice as it too is forthcoming.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harris, and welcome everyone. I'm glad we can all have our lunch and learn together. I want to focus on the magnet choices that we have in Lex 5. And I'm going to hit some of our highlights. We've grown from 3 magnet options years ago to 17 magnet programs located at 12 different sites. Last year, we had 1,125 applications for this school year we're in now. Among our magnet schools, we have Magnet Schools of America, MSA, Magnet Schools of Distinction, we have Magnet Schools of Excellence, we have certified magnet schools. We also have a certified demonstration magnet school, just to show you how much we have grown in our programs and the quality of what we offer. We also have had a Magnet Schools of America poster contest winner for 7 consecutive years. And also we have scholarship recipients from all of our high schools from Magnet Schools of America. You'll notice at the bottom the Magnet/Choice website that's located on our Lex 5 homepage. You can scroll down to quick links, go to this magnet page to find out any and everything you need to know. Next slide, please. I want to talk about our upcoming magnet fairs, which gives you an opportunity to see the programs, to talk to administrators, and to find out any questions you may have regarding the various themes and locations and sites for our magnet schools. If you notice, our first magnet fair will be November 20th at 5:30. It'll be 5:30 to 7, located at Irmo High School at their main street. And if you'll notice, that's for secondary, for middle and high school. And among those themes, we'll have the Academy for Innovative Learning. We have International Academic Magnets. We have STEM Magnets. We have a Magnets for the Arts. We have IB Diploma and Career-related programs. We have an Escalaris pathway that goes from the Escalaris Academy from Harbison West to Irmo Middle to Irmo High. Those will be featured November 20th at our first Magnet Fair. In January 15th, from 5 to 6:30, located at our Arcade Center, we will have our Elementary Magnet Fair. There you'll be able to see all of the choices at the elementary level. Among those, we have, again, our Escalaris Gifted Academy. We have the Montessori Magnet, we have Leadership, we have a STEAM Magnet, Arts Magnet, Global Magnet. We have the Academy of Environmental Sciences, and we have our Gifted and Talent Development Magnet, which is at Harbison West. Again, those dates. Next slide, please. This gives you a timeline showing you that we had already, which was last week, we had an Escalaris Pathway meeting, which was informing all of our families of that gifted pathway from 2nd grade through 12th. Thursday, 11/20th again, that will be our first Magnet Fair. It is for the secondary level, which is middle and high school, located at Irmo High School on Main Street. Then we'll have the second fair, January 15th. That's at the center. This is elementary. This will be from 5 to 6:30. Wednesday, on the 28th, all magnet and choice applications close. They open on the 20th, November 20th. The date of our first Magnet Fair is the date that the magnet application will open. Again, they close on the 28th at noon. Friday, February the 6th, the lottery and final selection notifications are sent out to families after 4 p.m. Tuesday, February the 10th, all families must either accept or decline their magnet school or their magnet choice placement by 12 noon for the following year. Next slide, please. Magnet Choice Fast Facts. The application window is not first come, first served. As long as you submit your application by noon on January 28th, your submission will be accepted, I'm sorry. There will be an application station set up at each magnet fair with assistance if you wish to apply at that time. Please visit again our website, our link for an abundance of information on all things magnet and choice. You will find an FAQ section for any questions you could possibly think of. You can find the information there. You can also find information on a step-by-step filling out the application process. The actual application will become live on November 20th at 9 a.m. and the link will be on the D5 website. From there, you will link in to the application. If you have any questions regarding Magnet or the application, please call the Magnet office, which is 803-476-8260, and we will be more than happy to answer anything you could possibly ask. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Wheeler and Dr. Harris. So at this time, we'll turn it over to the voice of District 5, Ms. Laura McElveen, if you can give us any questions that we have for the good of the group. And at the conclusion of that, we'll again post this lunch and learn for people's review, the community review.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ross. We have received a couple questions so far, and so we'll go through those and then just remind everybody, if you have a question you want to submit, you should see a question icon. Just hit that, submit your question, and we'll get through as many as we have time for. So the first one that I want to ask is, where can I find the zone locator? And that's actually an easy question that I can answer for you, and it's on our website, it's www.lexrich5.org, and there is a tab that says zoning, and then you click on that 2627 zoning information, and you will find that the flow chart that Dr. Harris mentioned, and you'll also, if you scroll down a little bit further, you can find your school zone locator with the bond referendum. You click in your address and it'll give you that information that you're looking for. The next question we have, I believe, I don't know if Dr. Harris or Dr. Ross could answer this question for us, but they were curious how H.E. Corley was chosen to be the school, the only school to go to Dutch Fork High after leaving Crossroads.
Yes, I can handle that. If you go back to the flow chart that we had, let's start out with the first flow chart of our existing schools. As you can see, all of our schools, kind of Valentine, Dutch Fork Elementary, H.E. Corley, River Springs, and Oak Point, all went to Dutch Fork High School within this model, and that's why we have them represented as green. The goal was to try to keep the students going to their same high school. We know that moving from intermediate to middle was going to be tough to keep that consistency, but we wanted to make sure that only as few students as possible were being rezoned from their high school. And I think we were able to, less than 1% of the students have been rezoned out of their high school. So now, as we move to the next slide, I want to track the schools that were in green that are in green now. The only change has been Valentine Elementary School. Valentine students, Valentine School is now in blue, which means it's going to Chapin High School. The students that were in Valentine have been rezoned to Dutch Fork, River Springs, Oak Point, and H.E. Corley. To ensure that those students did not lose their high school, we kept that model where they would stay in the green area, stay in the Dutch Fork High School zone. We actually tried to look at not splitting any of the middle schools. We tried an opportunity, met with Principal Melanie Harris at H.E. Corley, as well as Mr. Sava at Dutch Fork Middle, to see if we could keep H.E. Corley in the green in Dutch Fork Middle School. The problem that we had there was the amount of students that we would have at Dutch Fork Middle School would supersede its capacity. We were putting almost 1,400 to 1,600 students in one middle school. The goal in this model is to make all of our middle schools small so that our students are seen, that there's multiple opportunities for them. And so that resulted with H.E. Corley going to Crossroads Middle, but still maintaining its high school. So again, if you go back to the last slide, just in short, we had 5 schools that were going, 5 elementary schools feeding into Dutch Fork High School. And in the new model that you can go forward, there are 4 elementary schools feeding into Dutch Fork High School.
Okay, and I've got a couple questions that are probably geared more toward Ms. Wheeler. So let me, the first question that we received, Ms. Wheeler, is if someone missed the Escalaris Pathways meeting that was held on October 16th, I know that that was not recorded, but if somebody missed that, what should they do to get that information?
If they want to get information on the Escalaris pathway, they can call the magnet office at 476-8260, or they could call our coordinator of gifted and talented. Either place would be able to help.
Perfect. And can you say, we did have somebody who wanted to hear that number again, so I know you just said it, but can you repeat that number one more time for us?
803-476-8260. And let me just reiterate that all of the questions about Escalaris can also be answered at our various magnet fairs.
Perfect. And this next question, I know that this is something that is easy for you to answer and discuss, one of your favorite topics. What does it mean to be a magnet school?
A magnet school means that you have a specialized curriculum with an innovative theme and rigor and opportunities to be able to pursue your state standards, but through the lens of it be the arts or sciences or career pathways or a global lens. So it just gives a different flair to what you would be offered. We're still learning state standards, but we're learning it through different lens based on your interests.
Perfect. There's one comment here that says, I see that magnet schools are posted on the district website, but when will the schools of choice be posted? And I don't know if that's a Dr. Harris question, because I know that that's usually based on space and availability of the schools when that list is composed.
That's correct. We're working on that right now, and that will certainly be prior to the opening of the magnet choice application, which is November the 20th. We're working on that right now to ensure that we have the appropriate amount of space for our choice schools, because we don't want to overload our schools or our grades or our grades with more students than we can accommodate. So we want to make sure that we're doing it right and doing it well the first time. So we're working on that right now, and we anticipate within the next week or so that we should have those numbers available so that we can get that to the magnet office for it to be applied to the application itself.
Okay, and Dr. Harris, I know that you spoke earlier about the preferred pathways. So we have a question here asking, what is the time frame for the twice impacted families to be contacted?
The pathways as well as the preferred choice, we're going to keep that along the same line as the magnet and the choice application period. So we want to try to do that all within the same time frame in the same window. However, I do want to emphasize that they will be contacted separately because there is an identified number of families that we know, several of whom we've met with, but we want to make sure that we contact them separately, but within the same time frame as the choice magnet application window.
Okay. And I guess this kind of is very similar to what you were just speaking about. Are the application forms different for the preferred choice and magnet programs, or is it the same application?
The preferred choice is the same. The preferred choice is the same. And as Dr. Harris said, the preferred pathway will be very similar, but that will be handled separately.
Okay. Let's see. This is a question about some bus transportation. Will Chapin Middle and Chapin Elementary share a bus again next year? And with the high school bus, and will the high school bus continue to stop at Chapin High and Spring Hill High? And I'm not sure if that's something Dr. Ross may have some insight in. I know that
I can discuss that. In terms of the Spring Hill, so we can keep this slide here. The Spring Hill magnet program or magnet school will serve all of our middle schools. It will be a feature of support for all of our 5 new middle schools. As a result, we'll run a shuttle bus to the Zone High School and to Spring Hill High. As a result, you can see that Spring Hill High has a different start time because of that shuttle run. So the high schools will start at 8:20, and then Spring Hill High, because of that shuttle, will start later to allow that shuttle to happen. Now, I do need to be fair that magnet and choice programs, that means that the transportation is provided by the families. So the shuttle for Spring Hill is the only kind of magnet shuttle transportation program that we run. Typically, within a magnet program, when it starts, there's money for transportation. But what we had to do is streamline all of our different start times to ensure that we can run the routes for now 2 additional middle schools to start with the other 3 middle schools. So to that end, these start and dismissal times are governing our transportation fleet. We have now done the calculations to move 1,900 miles over, I think, 603 routes. It's about 7,000 plus stops that we need to make. This has really put constraints on our transportation schedule. So we can run the Spring Hill route, but other choice and magnet programs will need the transportation of the families to be able to meet those needs there.
Okay. The next question we had that was submitted, it says, we've school choiced my son into River Springs, and I'm wondering, will the redistricting affect his placement?
I can answer that. I believe Dr. Harris can too. If your child is presently choiced into a school, so they are choiced at River Springs, which is not their zone school, that along with our magnet programs, they are allowed to remain to the highest grade level of that school.
Okay, this question, Ms. Wheeler, you might be able to assist as well. If you used magnet choice for your elementary school, can you go to the school's middle school even if you aren't zoned for that middle school?
No, you must apply again at the next level to go to whatever program you might be interested in. The only thing to remember is if a magnet school is located at your zoned school, you do not need to apply unless it is a criteria-based program.
Okay, and that I think kind of leads into this next question that a parent who is zoned for Chapin Elementary but school choiced into River Springs, she wants to make sure that he attends Dutch Fork Middle since he is an AGP student. So I guess that,
she would have to apply to choice into either if it's a magnet program or if it's outside of their zone, they have to reapply for that choice at that next level, which would be middle school.
okay. Let's see, next question. If I'm requesting both of my students into a choice school, is it possible that one gets accepted and the other would not? And I don't know if that's again based on, space and availability and what they're looking for. I'm not sure if that's correct with Dr. Harris.
Right.
I think that's exactly it. We certainly want to do everything we possibly can to keep our families together. We know that is a question. However, there are instances along the year where a particular grade may not be available because of space constraints. And but just know that we will do our best, very best, throughout in every case to keep families together where and when possible.
Okay, and are students who are accepted a choice placement eligible to play sports?
And that would be, you said, choice outside of their zone, and I would assume being at the high school level.
Yeah, there are no restrictions. Once you're a student at that particular school, subject to the rules of the South Carolina High School League, they are eligible to participate in athletics there.
Okay, and this question, I believe, this next question, do students accepted into the Escalaris program attend a designated school, for example, Harbison West Elementary, even if they're not zoned specifically to that school per the address? And that's part of the quote magnet piece of the Escalaris program.
Yes, so that if a student is accepted into the Escalaris Academy at Harbison West, they are zoned there, and if they are part of Escalaris, they actually can continue that pathway through IRMO I Am Escalaris into IRMO I Am, this is Escalaris. So there is a 2nd to 12th grade pathway for that Escalaris program. But you must start at Harbison West to take advantage of that pathway.
Okay. And then Dr. Harris, I feel like this is, again, along the preferred choice lines. This parent wants to confirm that if my rising 5th grader wants to stay at a specific school, in this case, it would be Lake Murray Elementary, instead of moving to Ballantyne next school year, since they've been rezoned, would they fill out the preferred choice application? Does that depend on where they live, the families that would be contacted, or how does that work?
Yeah, and again, it would all be based on space availability. So we do know that there may be instances there. And as we continue to work with our principals to look at the space that's available, that will be made available at that particular time. So yes, it will be an opportunity for you to choose that and apply for that based on space availability.
Okay. So someone is wondering the application process for getting into Spring Hill High School. What are the odds of getting selected via the application process?
Just Springfield High School? Well, the option is at 9th grade, it's open. It's a non-zoned school. Therefore, it's open. There's no students that are going there. So it's open to 300 students. So the best opportunity for Spring Hill is to apply for 9th grade. And then as you go into 10th grade, there are fewer opportunities at that point. But basically, you apply either 9th or 10th grade, with most openings occurring, obviously, at the 9th grade.
Okay. Let's see. This question, I feel like it could be Dr. Harris or Dr. Ross. If they're zoned for kindergarten at Ballantyne for the 2027-2028 year, should they sign up for the pre-K program at Ballantyne for 2026-2027? And when does that process start? Is there a
Feel like that's a
4K
Dr. Harris
program at
question.
Valentine?
So Valentine does not currently have a 4K program.
Okay.
So that we would not be able to offer that as an option.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then if they've got a student to my young adult into trying to get my young adult into the magnet high school, is there a test to take? I'm assuming that's Spring Hill, but there is no, that Spring Hill is not a criteria-based magnet.
Correct. It is a lottery-based program. And again, you can come to the Magnet Fair and you can tour any of our schools prior during this open window season to get questions answered and to find out more details about each of the program. But that is a lottery, no criteria based.
Okay. Dr. Ross, can you talk, we have a question about the elementary student start time. Can you talk a little bit about the decision that was made to make the change for next year?
Yes, our goal is to maximize our buses. I think we run about 126 buses, 124 buses, and we have to get those buses out on routes and then back in to get the middle schools and secondaries to class on time. We looked at a few different start times to make that happen. 7:40, 7:45 was the latest that we could have all of those bus routes out, be able to come back. There is the perception that we have enough buses to run each 603 routes at one time. We do not. So we have to run loops. We looked at some of our current start times. Believe it or not, out of 13 elementary schools, I think we had 5 different start times. And so we were able to get that down to 1 start time. We could go earlier, and that would give our bus drivers as much flexibility to handle traffic and any mitigating issues on the road so that they can get back to get those middle and high schoolers. So we could go earlier. We looked at going as early as 7:30 in the morning, but that caused some concerns about elementary schools that were starting at 7:50 now, moving up 20 minutes. They were not happy with going earlier, but we cannot go later. The later you go, the later you push middle and high school start times back. And we don't start seeing a lot of learning gains at 4 o'clock for any level. Really, the later you go in the day, the more you run into work schedules after school, and the extracurricular activities being later and later in the day. So it's all interconnected. The split even time was 7:40. And so we could go earlier for elementaries, but going later throws all of our high school scheduling back, and we do not get efficient learning opportunities past 4 o'clock.
Okay, the next question, can a student classified as academically gifted in elementary school apply for a magnet program in middle school versus starting in elementary? They can apply, if they weren't in one in elementary, they are able to apply if there's one that they're interested in at the middle or high school level.
Thank you. I was on mute. Absolutely. If you are identified and you are in that Escalaris Academy in elementary, or if you are not, but you are interested in applying at either the middle or at the high school level, you can apply.
Okay. We've got a question about once we send in our application, how are the kids selected for the magnet programs?
We run a lottery. We have a third-party platform. So all of our applications come into us, and then we have a third party that takes all of that, runs the lottery, and then spits out the information.
Okay. And then we had another question regarding school of choice and the list. And as Dr. Harris said, they're in the process of right now of compiling that list because it's based on space and availability. So y'all expect to have that release close to the opening of the magnet window, application window, correct, Dr. Harris?
It certainly will be in advance of that application window, absolutely.
Okay. So I've answered, we did that one. Okay, so it says, will school of choice be a lottery system? For instance, fifth graders wanting to remain at Lake Murray Elementary.
Yes, it's going to be a lottery system. And again, all of that, again, is based on space availability.
Okay. All right, I'm just going, because some of them we have answered.
Man, if you can advance it to the timeline, that way people can see that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and then again, I feel like, Ms. Wheeler, you've addressed this. Can a student wait and do Escalaris in middle school? They've got a child that's currently at Montessori and would like to finish the Montessori program. So they're within their rights to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And again, that would require identification through the gifted and talented office, but they absolutely can go through that process at the middle school.
Okay. And then we've already answered this question, but the question was, is Spring Hill High School choice performance-based or lottery-based?
Lottery-based.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and somebody's asking, is there a way to watch this live Lunch and Learn again? And there will be a way. We're going to post it on our social media, on our website as well. So there will be ample opportunity. As soon as it ends, we will get a copy of it and we will post it again to our website and all of our social media platforms. So that is how people can see this again. Does anyone know to be able to answer about our 5 program? How does your virtual 5 program work? Do you have to apply? Can you play sports, and for what schools? Specifically, they are wanting to know for a 7th grader. So I don't know if anybody can provide some answers to that question.
So 5 is an opportunity which families can apply for. In terms of athletics, that is based on the student's home school. That was addressed earlier as it relates to the South Carolina High School League requirements they're placed upon there. And I'll mention this too for parents whose children are interested, particularly getting started with athletics, is to make certain that your first day of school, wherever you are on your first day of school related to athletics, that becomes the place in which your eligibility is determined. So just kind of keep that in mind as well as you consider sports. But 5 is available for opportunity for persons to apply and to enroll as well. And that is something that we also use as an intervention in other ways as well throughout the course of the year, I might add. So through our student services office, we're able to consider enrollment into 5 throughout the course of the year as well.
Okay.
Dr. Harris, I may add too, as we look for that particular 7th grader, it's important to look at what Dr. Harris said for your home school, because we're adding now 5 middle schools, and that 7th grader will be one of 5 middle schools. Right now we have 3 middle schools. So you want to see which middle school they will be participating for their homeschool athletics, subject to South Carolina High School League rules. So I appreciate that clarification because that's super important where you place on that first day of school. So thank you for mentioning that.
Okay, and somebody wants to know again where they can find that zoning page. And again, it's on our website, lexrich5.org. It is a new tab now at the top of the home screen, so it's super easy to find. I think it's 2627 zoning information. Click on that. You can scroll down a little bit, and then you can enter your address to find out what school you are zoned for in this for the 26-27 school year. So that we've answered. Okay. If parents have other students at Dutch Fork High School and would like to have middle schoolers attend Dutch Fork Middle, would that be possible? I'm not sure. Schoolers attend. I'm not
Not
sure.
restating the question.
Yeah, it says, let's see. Okay, it says to clarify, I'm thinking that if parents of H.E. Corley students have other students at Dutch Fork High and would like to have middle schoolers attend Dutch Fork Middle, would that be possible? So if they already have some students, but they're being rezoned under the new plan, but they already have some other children at the school currently, could that be possible? And I would assume we do the best we can to keep families together based on space and availability.
I think that's exactly it. Again, it's the opportunity to apply based on available space at Dutch Fork Middle, and where and when possible, we do our very best to keep families together.
Okay.
But and Dr. Harris, all of the H.E. Corley students will eventually be at Dutch Fork High School.
They will eventually, they will certainly matriculate to Dutch Fork Middle and Dutch Fork High, exactly right. Well, Dutch Fork High in particular, yes.
Dutch Fork High, that's correct.
Okay. So this next question, can an AJP student stay at the current school they will not be zoned for next year, or will they still need to apply for choice? We'll put this lady in contact. She wants to be able to discuss some more, but if they are not zoned for a location and they are qualified to attend, they still need to fill out an application to be able to attend a magnet school that you don't currently attend.
Yes, yes. If you are presently at one school and you want to go to another magnet school, you have to apply.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. What is a magnet program different from other schools? I'm not sure what that means, but a magnet program is different than a zone school. We could, you could talk about the reason for magnet programs. If that's what they are referring to, I'm not sure what that means.
Again, it's almost circles around interest, and it offers a innovative theme based versus a more traditional school that, again, as Dr. Ross and Dr. Harris and I always say, every choice is a great choice, and that is the truth. It's just that you can get a little bit more of an interest base if you love the sciences or you love the arts, although all schools offer these great opportunities. So you can't go wrong.
Yep, every choice is a great choice in District 5. Can we see the redistricting school slide again? And I don't know if Amanda can take us there. So that is the redistricting slide.
Is that slide or the structure slide?
Let's see.
Maybe
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll leave that up for a few minutes while I look to see if I can find another question that's coming in. Are there any, and I guess this is still probably in the works, Dr. Harris, as y'all are determining, but they're wondering, are there any elementary schools that you expect to have limited capacity for choice applicants?
Yes, there are. Heretofore, we have not had choice for the past several years in a number of our schools. If you think in terms of our district from Ballantyne through about Piney Woods, we've not had, for the most part, choice opportunities. This restructuring, redistricting opportunity will afford us an opportunity to make, at least even on a limited basis, at each grade level, choice options available. And we'll certainly look forward to doing that. I've had a chance to meet with all of our principals who are excited about that as well. Now, I will say to you that because of the impacts that we have at Ballantyne Elementary School, that is the one school of the 24 schools in this district, that is the one school that we will not offer a traditional choice option to. However, current Ballantyne families are and have the opportunity for the preferred choice and preferred pathways, as we discussed earlier. So again, on a very limited basis, our Chapin schools, Piney Woods, Chapin Middle, Spring Hill Middle, on a limited basis, there will be an opportunity for to participate in that lottery application that will come forward in November.
Okay. And I guess while we had somebody that wanted one more time just to kind of go over those slides that you presented, Dr. Harris, that talked about the preferred pathways. Can we go to that and you just recap that?
Yeah, so preferred choice, again, this entire page is specific to Ballantyne Elementary School as we know it. There are families who will be moving or impacted at least one time, and we'll just kind of go through what it says here, because I think it speaks to the question. In lieu process by which a student is eligible to attend their school through the highest grade level. And I think that's important, that once that's done, once this choice application takes place and the student is approved, that they are there through the highest grade level. And it's respective, again, based on space availability, and of course, transportation is that of the family. So because Ballantyne particularly has been impacted far more than any other school, we're going to make this preferred choice option available. We're basically emptying out Ballantyne Elementary as we know it today into River Springs, Oak Point, H.E. Corley. So there are some opportunities for them to choice back in based on available seats. However, because of a second impact, particularly at the middle school, preferred pathway kind of kicks in. All right, because again, those families who are moving into River Springs, particularly H.E. Corley and into Crossroads Intermediate, where they would have been going into the Dutch Fork Middle zone area, they have an opportunity. I think they're about to the tune of about 75 families, which we've identified, that will be contacted separately to share with them and offer that opportunity because of the dual impact that they would experience because of this rezoning. Again, this entire page is specific to Ballantyne Elementary School, whether it's a one-time or a two-time impact in terms of the moves that are required in order to impact or effectuate this redistricting.
Okay. Okay, this one person is wondering where they can get some more information on our Virtual 5 program, and that can be found on our website at lexford5.org. I believe in the academics section, I believe there is a tab for the 5 program, and there's numbers and some information on that page that should be able to assist. But obviously, you can always call the school district and we will get you in contact with the correct person. But that information with some names and numbers of our coordinator of the 5 program and the admin there can assist. And those names and numbers are on our website. And Dr. Ross, I think that is about it for the questions. So I'll let you go ahead and put a bow on everything for us.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. You've done an amazing job fielding the questions from our community. Just wanted to have more opportunities to get to all of our community to explain what we're doing in terms of choice, our magnet programs, and our rezoning. Again, I want to thank our director of our magnet program, Sarah Wheeler. I want to thank our chief of student services and planning, Dr. Michael Harris, It is very tough taking questions live, but we do this as a service to our community. One of the reasons that we have so many programs, or preferred choice, or preferred pathways, or magnet programs, or choice programs, is to respond to the needs of our community. We know that one size doesn't fit all. And so as we look to meet that goal, where every student feels loved in our schools and every student has demonstrated academic growth in our schools, we realize that choice within our school district is important to have. And so we thank you for being involved, being a partner with us. And we'll continue to put out information about our rezoning and redistricting. But we're doing that to ensure that we can do the work that we do to love and grow our students. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next Lunch and Learn.